Hi guys, I always wanted to do YouTube videos or whatever, but like I always wanted to go ahead and get me a camera and go ahead and get everything set up so that when I do start making videos, I can just edit them and just start posting them with no problems. But I wanted to go ahead and get started. I have so much that I want to talk about and just share, with other people that the things that I've been through. First, I want to start off with talking about endometriosis. I recently found out that I have endometriosis. Never thought that I would be the one to find out that I would have endometriosis. I started thinking that maybe I had IBS maybe last year, but that was it. I just limit my intake on milk and dairy products because milk will always upset my stomach. So how I found out that I had endometriosis is that I had a hernia, and my hernia didn't start aggravating me until after my miscarriage back in January. Yes, I had a miscarriage back in January. I'll be sharing a little bit about that as well. But yes, I ended up having my hernia surgery about 4 or 5 weeks ago, which was a very long process. Because the first surgeon that I went to was kind of skeptical about doing my hernia surgery because I had a little bit of complications with my hernia, umbilical hernia as well. But of course, I'll share that with you guys on another video. So the surgeon did the surgery and he, repaired my hernia. Didn't use mesh because me and my husband, we do want more kids. So he said that he would not use mesh. So while he was in my abdomen, repairing the hernia, he found tissue. So he went ahead and took a piece of it and sent it off to be biopsied. By the way, I did not have laparoscopic surgery. I had an actual incision where he had to, make a small incision, and he did whatever he had to do within that incision. So, took a piece of the tissue, sent it for biopsy, and then, of course, went to my post-op. And he told me that I had endometriosis. He stated that he never seen endometriosis the way that he saw it in my abdomen. So that kind of like freaked me out. I was very emotional. I'm always the strong one when it comes to anything. So that started getting me to thinking, well, maybe this is the reason why I had my miscarriage back in January, because they're still doing studies on it. Some doctors say endometriosis could cause miscarriages, and some doctors don't believe that it causes miscarriage. So it's still up in the air, still being studied. So they referred me to a gynecologist, and of course, the nurse, she was like, well, do not excuse me, guys. She was like, do not contact them. They'll contact you whenever they're ready to schedule your appointment and everything, whatever. Well, I worked in the medical field for about 5 years. So, you know, I already knew what was going on. At first, you know, I was being patient whenever I left the doctor's office. And then I just started thinking, started getting emotional, everything else. I started freaking out. Yes, I have anxiety, so I started freaking out. But I control it myself. I don't have to take any medicine or anything. I do very well controlling it by myself. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but I do pretty good. But we'll talk about that again in another video. But so yeah, so I went ahead, I called my insurance, because it's crazy, because I had a doctor's appointment maybe a week or two prior, and I told him that I needed to get referred to see a gynecologist and a orthopedic, because normally I try to stay on top of my pap smears, because ovarian cancer runs in my family, and I have had, you know, scares in the past where my pap smears have you know, came back abnormal. So, you know, long story short, I already had a referral with my insurance company on record or whatever, so I knew, you know, that was good once I called them and verified. So I went ahead and called the doctor's office where I was, you know, getting referred to. Went ahead, made my appointment. They were very, you know, nice over the phone or whatever. They didn't give me any problem. You know, some people give you attitude, like who's referring you, and ask 1,000,001 questions, but you know, I didn't have any of that. They were happy to schedule my appointment, thankfully. And I actually got a date the following week. So, you know, that was exciting for me, to go ahead and get it out of the way. And so went to see the gynecologist the following week, and we talked about, you know, endometriosis. She kind of explained my choices that I had or whatever, and I basically already knew what I wanted to do, because I've been watching videos on YouTube. I'll be on YouTube more than I'll be on Facebook, honestly. So you know, just watching different videos, doing a little bit of research on endometriosis or whatever, and yeah, so she explained to me, you know, my options, and I knew I already wanted to have surgery, for sure, you know. And she told me, even though, you know, she would do the surgery, that I still needed to be on a hormone treatment. And she was just telling me what she normally do or whatever, and I just told her, you know, like, my husband is actually going in for a stem cell transplant for his sickle cell disease. Again, that's another story that I would like to share with you guys. But yeah, so he's supposed to start that like the beginning of October. So I told her, you know, it's the end of August, beginning of September, like we don't have much time. So I told her, okay, you know, let's go ahead and do the surgery. We'll try, you know, until he gets admitted to the hospital, and then if nothing happens, if we don't conceive on our own, then we will start the hormone treatment. And then I can just do that treatment while he's doing his treatment, his stem cell transplant. So she was like, you know, she agreed with it, very understanding, you know, what's going on. And she asked us if we thought about fertility treatments, and if we ever thought about freezing our eggs and sperms, which, you know, we already have a fertility specialist, my husband does. So we have started that, which was great. That was awesome for her. So you know, she went ahead and did my pap smear, which was great. Of course, you know, endometriosis, you really don't know what extent you have it, like if it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, until the doctor actually goes in and look around. So we won't really know. You know, my general surgeon, when he did my repaired my umbilical hernia, he just took a piece of it. He didn't say how much or where, what locations he saw the endometriosis. He just stated that, you know, he never seen a case like mine or whatever. So I'm not sure if it's in other parts of my body or what, because she also explained to me that endometriosis could be anywhere. She's seen it on people's lungs, on their stomach, of course in their intestines, well, around, you know, their intestines, and of course in your woman area, your ovaries and uterus and all of that. So, you know, yeah, so, you know, just talking to her, and I had my little questions that I asked her, and of course again I asked her, you know, do you think that my endometriosis may have caused my miscarriage? Excuse me, guys, I just finished drinking some Sprite. But yeah, if my endometriosis could have caused my miscarriage back in January. And of course she told me that no, most women with endometriosis, they have a difficult time getting pregnant, but once they are pregnant, they normally don't have any problems after that. But you know, of course, I'm in between, you know. It's not a fact yet, but some studies have been shown that women with endometriosis have a higher rate of miscarriage. So yeah. And of course, like a few days before I went to my gynecologist appointment, I already had decided to change my diet. So I was going to, you know, only drink water and eat seafood and a lot of fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So I started doing that, but once I got there, I was like, okay, you know, so I changed my diet. Do you think that'll help? You know, she basically said, you know, it may not help. You know, and she won't know until she do the surgery, the procedure, you know, like to find out what's really going on. So I was like, okay, well, might as well just eat and enjoy what I can before she do the surgery, because my surgery is actually scheduled for next week. Yeah, the beginning of part of next week. So everything is moving like very, very fast. I was very surprised, because actually when I went in to see my primary care physician, and I went in, she immediately referred me to go see a general surgeon. So went to go see the general surgeon that same day. He scheduled my surgery that same day. You know, I was having it the following week as well. So everything is moving pretty fast, but in a sense of not, you know, really fast enough, because I'm not sure if we will have enough time to try to conceive on our own. But, you know, we do have an 8-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, so, you know, I'm not too upset, you know, about it, because we already have our little blessings, but we do want more kids. Yeah. So I just wanted to fill you guys in, and I will keep you guys updated. If any of you guys have any questions, just let me know. By the way, I'm only 28, you know, so I know a lot of people do not find out that they have endometriosis until later on in life, and I was one of the ones to find out that I had endometriosis in part of my 20s. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them for you. Thank you guys.